It's day 9 of our cruise to Greece and Turkey on board Celebrity Infinity, and our last port of call is Nafplio. This quiet little town was way more than we expected and turned out to be one of our favorites. We get a chance to try some local cuisine, but stay tuned to the end as we show you the disembarkation process once we arrived back in Athens.
We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around.
Nafplio is one of the most charming and romantic cruise ports in the southern region of Greece. It's not on every cruise itinerary, but when it is, it's an absolute gem. It's a walkable port packed with history, beauty, and local flavor. Cruise ships typically anchor offshore, and passengers are tendered to the port right next to the town's lively waterfront. Nafplio is a very laid-back port. You can pack a lot in if you want, or you can just relax and soak up the charm. It's a very safe port, and the tendering process is typically smooth and quick. It is a great port to explore independently, but ship-organized excursions to ancient sites are worthwhile if you're a history buff. This place looks like it was pulled right out of a travel magazine. Colorful, neoclassical buildings, palm-lined waterfronts, and a backdrop of an ancient fortress that just screams, "Take a photo of me." Now, towering above the town is the mighty Palamidi Fortress. It was built by the Venetians in the 18th century, and if you're feeling adventurous, you can climb the famous staircase. It's only 999 steps up the cliff, or you can just hop a taxi and go around the back. We won't judge. Now, the real heart of Nafplio is the Old Town. This place is straight up magical. Winding cobblestone alleys, balconies draped with flowers, little boutiques and artisan shops are around every corner. You might also be interested in taking a tram tour through the Old Town. You might also want to make a stop at the Church of Agios Spiridon. It's a humble little church with a huge piece of Greek history. The first head of the state of modern Greece was assassinated here in 1831. The bullet hole is still in the wall. The Old Town is absolutely charming. It's the kind of place where you set out for a coffee and somehow you end up buying olive oil, a handmade leather bag, 3 kinds of local sweets you'd never heard of. Just trust the process. You also don't want to miss Syntagma Square. It's the main plaza in Old Town. It's great for people watching, and it has an archaeological museum right here. It's surprisingly impressive if you're into Mycenaean history. While we were here, we were fascinated by all the families who were just enjoying the beautiful day in Nafplio's Central Square. We spent hours just looking around the Old Town, and we popped into a lot of little boutiques and shops along the way. Of course, our number one tip is always to arrive early, and when we did, it was very quiet in around Nafplio. But as the day went on, more and more people seemed to be coming out and about, and the alleyways got a little busier. Eventually, I found my way into a little shop that was selling baklava, and I just couldn't help myself. We're in Old Town in
Nafplio.
Nafplio.
Nope.
Nafplio.
Yes.
We're in Old Town in Nafplio, and it's a beautiful area. Great little place for shopping. Plenty of stores, cafes.
Very
restaurants.
picturesque.
Very picturesque. Very beautiful.
It is really lovely. We had a nice tender ride in, very short. We've been walking around now for a while, just enjoying the sights. It's nice and cool. Had some treats.
And we're tasting a few of the local sweets.
Yeah, it's very good.
Baklava was delicious. Eventually, we made our way back to the waterfront, and if you're just looking to relax, Nafplio's waterfront promenade is calling your name. Cafes, fishing boats, and views of the little Burtsy fortress on the water. It's an ideal spot for a late morning stroll or an afternoon frappe. All right, foodies, listen up. Nafplio's tavernas are next level. You got seaside seafood spots with grilled octopus and fresh fish, cozy restaurants in the alley serving bagana. But for us, we just wanted to try some baked feta, which was absolutely huge. Melanie had ordered this back in Athens, but it was nowhere near as big as this one. I tried some gyro, which was something we did enjoy from our first few days in Athens. Of course, they have all the Greek classics, moussaka, souvlaki, and salads piled high with feta. So whether you're going to climb all 999 fortress steps or explore the old streets of Old Town, or maybe just relax by the seaside with a glass of wine, Nafplio is definitely a hidden gem that deserves a top spot on your Greek cruise bucket list. Late in the afternoon, we decided it was time to head back to Celebrity Infinity and take in the last sunset of our Greek bucket list cruise. As we watched the sun dip down behind the mountains for that last time, we couldn't help feel a little sad. We've had such a great trip going through all the Greek islands and into Turkey. We'll never forget the memories we made with our friends on this trip of a lifetime. If you ever get the chance to come to Greece and Turkey, we highly recommend it. We headed back to the cabin to pack up and get ready for dinner. Before we dropped by Blue for the last time, we did take in some music and entertainment before dinner. We ordered some of our favorites again for our last night here in Blue Restaurant. Would you have ever guessed Melanie would have French onion soup? Then it was time to head out back around the ship to take in the last of the entertainment before we got ready to depart in the morning. It wasn't even daylight when the ship arrived back into the port of Piraeus, and this place didn't look the same as when we left 9 days ago. We were up early because we were using the self-assist debarkation to make sure we got to the airport on time. Good morning from Athens.
Good morning.
We are back at Terminal B
Yes.
at the port of Piraeus. We just did the self-disembarkation, walked off the ship. Very quick. Wait for elevators. So make sure you're able to do that if your bags are a little too big for the stairs.
Yours was as well.
Oh, that's what I mean. If our bags are too big for the stairs. So we had to wait a while for elevators, but the actual disembarkation process was very quick. So we're waiting for our pickup ride here in Athens, and then we're heading to the airport. And if you're looking for a taxi, as soon as you come out the terminal doors, there's a whole line of them waiting there to take you to your hotel or to the airport, if that's where you're headed. That wraps up our vlog series on the Celebrity Infinity in Greece and Turkey. Join us in our next video when we do a complete review of the ship and the cruise. We're going to share the good and the not so good. You won't want to miss that. Thanks for watching.